Whether we want to admit this or not, 2020 has changed our values and priorities forever in a way that no other year or event in our lifetime has managed to do this. Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year! Happy blessed year. I hope 2021 is going to be one of the most amazing years of your life. I cannot predict the future and I cannot tell you what it's going to be, but of one thing I'm certain, that after 2020, our lives will never be the same. And as much as we want to go back to normal, to go back to our life, I think this will not be possible. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, not at all. I always like to look at the bright side of everything, but I feel that our entire values, our entire priorities have changed so much. Our entire system, way of life has changed, and our perception of how reality works is completely different than last year. If there is one thing that makes me absolute certain that in a way life on planet Earth is going to be better and better with every year from now on, is that 2020 has shown us so many things that were wrong in our life, in our society, and when things go wrong, there is like a common wish between all people on this planet to be better, to live better, and to have a better life. And when all of us together wish for the same thing for our life, for our society to be better, in a way or in another, this thing will happen. If you gave me this topic to talk about how to set goals in the beginning of the last year, I would have probably come up with an entire system of how to set your goals. It's something that I do usually every start of the year, and I'm still going to do it this year, but I think some things I will modify and I will explain to you why. The system that I used in the last years was to set my goals short term, medium term, and long term, meaning 6 months to 1 year, the short ones, 3 to 5 years, medium, and then long term would be the 10-year goals, which would be like the vision of how I wanted my life to be like. I still have them, and I'm getting closer to that 10 years, but I'm always upgrading. Of course, I did this in the beginning of the last year, and I wrote my goals on paper, and then I did my vision board, which is a technique that I use for the last 4 years and gave me amazing results. But 2020 came, and of course almost 80% of my list didn't came true, and I was not able to do it. And of course, when you're faced with the situation of not being able to control anything that's happening in your life, and I'm sure a lot of you has experienced this, when you're not certain about what will happen to tomorrow or the next month or the next couple of months, it's easier to get into despair. It's easier to feel that anything that you're doing is worthless, it's pointless, it's no sense to do it. And this thing actually happened because I was at some point in the middle of the year when I saw that I would not be able to meet any of my goals that I set, and I had to take a decision. The decision was something that I learned from one of the coaches that I worked with, and the decision would be how you want to feel throughout this year. What is the main thing that you want to feel? Do you want to feel ease? Do you want to feel happiness? Do you want to feel secure? So I would make it as general as possible. I stopped giving specific goals, like I want to go in that vacation, or I want to have that specific phone, or I want to have that specific car, or I want to have that specific relationship. I gave up all specific things and I said, okay, universe, maybe I don't know what is the best for me right now. Maybe I need to learn something. Maybe I need to let go. And the one decision I took was to live my best life and to experience everything that comes into my life with joy. This was a decision I took in June, and I'm telling you that I respected it 100% in the next half of the year, the whole summer, the whole autumn. Everything that I was doing, all my choices were answering to this question. Is this bringing me joy? Is this making my life the way I want it to be. It was an amount of events that happened that I cannot explain even up to this point. It was the decision shortly after taking this decision to just go on a trip for 2 weeks to visit a friend in Germany. It was then the decision to come back. It was then the decision that I love this new place. It was then the decision that I wanted this change for my whole life. It was from one decision to another. I just left behind everything that I thought would make me happy, and I just followed this new feeling of feeling great, of feeling joyful, of yes, this is the moment, this is the time, this is the perfect moment to do all those things that I always wanted. And I'm telling you, your reality and your perception are yours and only yours. If you think that a year or a month or a day or an event can affect you, that it is in a certain way. For example, a lot of people think 2020 was one of the worst years in human history, and for some of them it was. I'm sure of that. If you think that you cannot do something, if you think that it's impossible to do something, if you think that it's impossible for you to achieve something because of something else, then it's going to be like this. Henry Ford has one of the best quotes that I love and that I always tell: whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Both ways. So it's up to you what beliefs you want to have about this world. When you start to follow your own happiness, your own feeling good, you will see that you will attract in your life events, people, moments that will just help you increase this emotion, this feeling. You will have more in your life, more things that will make you say, yes, this is the feeling that I want to experience. You will feel like this is joyful, that you want to do this all the time, that you want to live this kind of experience no matter what. If you feel that the last year has passed you by without bringing any noticeable change in your life, and if you feel that you've been stuck with everything and that your whole life is messed up and upside down, I just want to tell you that it's absolutely okay to feel like that, and it's your feeling, it's your life, and you know better why is it like that. But I want to also encourage you to not focus so much on the present situations, because they are temporary. Nothing is going to last forever. Things are going to get better eventually, I'm sure of that. And I totally understand you, because for the better first of the year, I was also focusing so much, so intensively on my reality that was far away from what I wanted. And when things get out of control in your life, because sometimes it happens too, you attract them also because maybe you needed or you wanted an even bigger change in your life on another level. And this is the way in which universe works to rearrange everything. It's usually taking away, it's usually leaving a lot of mess behind, it's usually a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, a lot of anger and emotions that want to come out. But it's also the way in which the universe rearranges, puts together everything piece by piece, person by person, event by event, and place by place, for you to be in that moment, in that life that you always wanted. And that is something that I can assure you of. With that being said, I want to leave you with this question: how do you want your 2021 to be like? How do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? Yes, what do you want to have, or what experiences you want to do? But other than that, don't focus so much on the have or the do thing, but mostly focus on how you want to be, because that's the only thing that you actually can control. You can control how you respond, you can control your attitude towards all the events, you can control yourself. The other things that come from the exterior, when you let them control you, you just give away all your power in your life. So, how do you want to feel this year? Do you want to feel ease? Do you want to feel joy? What brings you joy? Try to see what activities bring you joy. Maybe it's creating YouTube videos, maybe it's creating TikTok videos, maybe it's gaming, maybe it's cooking. Put all your energy into those things that bring you joy and happiness. And step by step you will start to create a new reality. And one thing that is also super important, when you think about this year, think a little bit further and try to imagine a vision you have for your life that maybe cannot happen in the next year, but maybe it can happen in the next 2, 3, 4, or 5 years. Okay? So try to see yourself as high as possible, the level you want to achieve, and try to act as that person in every activity, in every day, with everything that you do, because when you start to act as that person, your situation right now will start to change step by step. With that being said, I want to leave you with one statement that I think will rule my 2021. It's a statement that sounds like this: everything is very easy in my life, everything is super simple. Why should things be complicated? Why should things be overwhelming? Everything is simple. My relationship, my health, my financial situation, my career, everything is easy and everything is easy to figure out. Thank you so much for being here for another video. Thank you for supporting me in my journey. Thank you for being part of my community. I hope you will find valuable lessons in this video and cannot wait to see you with more videos on personal development and how to live an inspired life on this channel. Bye!